All right, guys. So I just watched Peacemaker season 2, episode 4, and I thought this was another solid episode. So yeah, let's just get into it. So we start off with a flashback to basically how Peacemaker's dad discovered the portal, which then led to him being the White Dragon. Now, I will say this part is kind of convenient because there's an interdimensional alien. Seems like he just happened to be in the woods. I mean, they don't explain how he got there. Um, I guess they don't need to. It's fine, but I mean, it is a convenient thing at the end of the day. Maybe they'll get into it in future episodes. Um, but yeah, I will say I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him being like his dad being like a super genius mad scientist character. I thought that was kind of interesting. They basically confirm in this that he's not that. He just like lucked out on finding this portal. Although I mean, at the end of the day, he still has to know how to make like the White Dragon suit and whatnot. So yeah, I guess how did he get all those? How did he get all that equipment at the end of the day? Yeah, I guess Adebayo asked Chris that question, and then he said that there is an answer to it, but he didn't want to talk about it. So maybe we'll explore all of the intricacies of that in future episodes. But yeah, we basically get more information on the origin of Peacemaker and White Dragon and all of that. Um, I will say the comedy actually largely worked for me in this episode. Like this scene here where they're all riffing and going back and forth with each other. I like in previous episodes, like some of these scenes were a little like cringy, and it's like, okay, James Gunn is doing his James Gunn thing. But honestly, for me, all that stuff actually really worked in this episode. Uh, I do really like how Economos remains being a bro. He's given so many opportunities to just betray Chris, and he just like refuses to do so, which I think is really cool. You know, he's been definitely been one of these characters that we saw previously in the DCEU. He's carrying through into the DCU, and you really are sort of seeing him kind of evolve in a sense of changing from being this like wimpy character to being somebody that's willing to stand up for his friends. I think that's cool. Although I'm trying to remember, didn't he also stand up to Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad? I actually think he did. Is he the one that knocked her out? I actually can't remember. But either way, he knocked this guy out. He knocked out the Eagle Hunter guy, and he basically set him off on like a revenge quest. So now there's going to be like a subplot, I guess, of this Eagle Hunter guy having a rivalry with Eagly. I mean, that just sounds that sounds like a lot of fun. Like, I could totally see that being a subplot that we cut back to throughout the rest of the season. I hope that happens, and it's just this like Looney Tunes esque back and forth with Eagly and this guy trying to take each other out. I think that's actually going to be really funny. But yeah, pretty crazy. We see Harcourt essentially being Brutus, deciding that she's going to betray Chris. And I also really like this moment where we get to see her interact with Rick Flag Sr. because we obviously saw at the beginning of last week's episode that she had a relationship with Rick Flag Jr. And so I kind of like that we get this interaction between her and his dad, showing that they have a history. She clearly like wants him to like her. She, he because of her relationship with his son. So I really like all the like weird, messy like dynamics between the two of them. And I also like that Rick Flag Senior. He's a character that we've followed as a protagonist in Creature Commandos. He's a character that we've gone through journeys with. We've sympathized with him, but I like that James Gunn is actually willing to like make him a bad guy here, right? He is manipulating Harcourt. He is forcing her to betray his friend or her friend. And I kind of like that James Gunn is kind of willing to take one of his characters and make him show this darker side of him. Even though I assume that by the end of the season, even if he doesn't make up with Peacemaker, I think he's going to realize that what he's doing is bad. But yeah, I think that all of this is really interesting. We also got this really great scene between Adebayo and Chris, where she's basically trying to like walk him off the ledge of giving up on his life and going into this fantasy of another dimension, where it's like, I like the line where she says, "Even if it is real, it doesn't really matter because this here is your real life, and you are just trying to run away from it. Like those guys over there are not your brother. That's not your dad. You're not their brother. You're not, their son. That Harcourt is not your Harcourt. Like, even if it is literally another dimension, it doesn't mean that it's your people." And I enjoy that as like a metaphor of people, running away from their problems and stuff like that. I thought that was a really great scene. But yeah, I mean, it also does just highlight how brutal it's going to be when Chris finds out that Harcourt is betraying him. I mean, yeah, for the sake of being able to be like a secret agent again. It's like that is going to drive him back into the other universe in the next episode. And yeah, I think we're going to see if the theories that people have of that other universe are indeed correct. I mean, I feel like they are, like, so yeah. So yeah, James Gunn sent out the first 5 episodes to critics, I believe, so that the critics could see them. And he purposefully left out the last 3 episodes. So I think next week we're probably going to see Chris and he's going to face off against the Argus agents when he goes to meet Harcourt. And so my prediction is that he's going to take them out, but he's going to be so betrayed by what Harcourt did that he is going to go back through the other universe. But I don't think we're actually going to see him go through that universe. My suspicion is that the episode is going to end with him going into the other universe. And then those last 3 episodes that James Gunn didn't show critics, I think it's going to be just insanity over in that other dimension. I think it's going to get crazy. I think we might see those crazy cameos that James Gunn talked about, or that people are assuming are going to end up being in those last 3 episodes. And my guess is that they're going to be like multiverse variants. Man, I don't know. I kind of hope they don't do like an evil, like racist Superman. Just because evil Superman is just very played out at this point with Omni-Man and Homelander and whatnot. But I wouldn't mind seeing like an evil, I don't know. I was going to say an evil Guy Gardner and an evil Hawk Girl or something like that. But I mean, those guys are all, I mean, no, they're good guys. They're good guys. Yeah, we could see an evil Guy Gardner, or like an evil Mr. Terrific or something like that. I think something like that could be fun, but I do hope that James Gunn avoids doing an evil Superman trope. But I mean, it's interesting. Like, they are very much hyping up those last 3 episodes. It's like, we could potentially see a Batman show up in those last 3 Peacemaker episodes. Don't go into it expecting that. I'm just saying that it is a possibility, right? But either way, I enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.